Hi everyone, we're at John Sadler's Auto Repair. We have a 2001 Toyota Echo with a 1.5 liter manual transmission. She came in with the check engine light on, but the vehicle's running good. And the codes we had are P0440 is the Evap system, then 441 is incorrect purge flow, and 446 Evap vent control circuit. Now when you have P0440 and you have these other codes associated with it, it tells you to go to P0441, and it talks about the fuel cap, it talks about purge flow, it talks about leaks in the Evap system. So we went to the gas cap, and the first thing I saw is it says Fram on it, so it's not a Toyota cap. And then I removed the cap, and we should have enough light where we can be able to see all the cracks in here along the face of it. It's got a lot of cracks. And we're going to get a new gas cap from Toyota. So that's the first problem. It's an aftermarket cap, and when you tighten it down, it's supposed to go like 3 clicks, and it doesn't really tighten down well. It kind of gets snug, and then it just doesn't feel like it's working very well. So that's one problem. Then I decided to raise it up in the air and look underneath and look at the charcoal canister, look at everything around the fuel tank. First of all, we looked up in the engine compartment. When you have those 3 codes, P0400, 441, and 446, a lot of times it's the breather hose on the air cleaner housing, which is this breather hose right here. That hose will be off, and you'll get those 3 codes. And it's usually after an oil change, where the oil change place has checked your air filter and they've taken that hose off and not reinstalled it. But in this particular case, it wasn't the problem on this vehicle, so I'm going to raise it up and show you what the problem was underneath. Okay, so now we got it up in the air. And one of the first things I noticed is I started up here. Here's where the fuel lines and the Evap lines run together and run back to the rear of the car. Then there's a junction here. Then here's where your vent, and here's your filler hose to the fuel tank. Then here's the vent for the fuel tank. And then you can see up here where this holder's a little damaged, where this line's not in the connector anymore. Things have moved around a little bit. And what I did is I took this hose off already, because you can see how this is nice and clean. That means the hose was all the way on. If you look at this piece right here, you can see the only clean spot is that little lip there. When I flip it over that way, you can see the top of it. It's all dirty up here. The hose never connected onto it. And so the reason that happened is this thing got bent out of shape a little bit. Here's the hose I took off. Here's the side that's nice and clean. It was on like this. I took a mirror and looked at the top of it, and the only place it was on is that little tiny spot right there. So there's all kinds of dirt around the edge of it. So that's a pretty big leak going on. So something banged underneath here, or something pushed this, because this was cocked a little bit. It's hard to say. You know, there's some cracks on these lines that are a little bit older. Now you can't buy this anymore. You can't buy this 50-cent piece of hose. They want you to buy the whole charcoal canister and the valves and this hose to buy it. So what I found is that this is metric, of course, and it's a little more than 5/8. I found some 5/8 heater hose, which is just about the same diameter. And I saw that if I put a little bit of lubricant or a little bit of blue grease on both ends of this, I could fit it on one end, so I know I can fit it on the other end. And that'll last 5 or 6 years, you know, it'll last a long time. And at some later point, if this charcoal canister goes bad or something fails inside of here, then of course we can sell her the whole assembly. And for something like that, this heater hose is a lot thicker than the hose that it had on it. It's a good strong hose. It's just going to have fuel vapors going through there. There's not a lot of pressure inside of there, so this is going to last a very long time. It's going to be effective repair for her vehicle, and it's going to save her a lot of money from buying the whole assembly. And I'm trying to find some aftermarket suppliers that sell this type of hose only, but it's pretty hard to find it because they want you to buy whole assemblies instead of just buy a hose. So it's a little tip from John Sadler's. You can use a 5/8 heater hose for a repair on something like that. It'll work good, it'll work for a long time, and it'll solve the customer's problem. So when you have those 3 codes, the biggest one is the air cleaner boot. We showed you before, the vacuum hose is not on the side of the air cleaner upper housing. Or you got a leak like this, where something's been leaking a long time, and you have a gas cap failure. So we have 2 failures in this vehicle. So I'll put the hose on for her. I got a new gas cap from Toyota coming tomorrow. We'll clear the codes, we'll give her the vehicle back, and we're going to have another happy customer at John Sadler's. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.